Hello, I am Marty. I am a full-time artist, and I decided we're going to change the channel a little bit, doing a bit of this, that and everything, but I'm just about to head out and do some Christmas markets, and I've changed a lot of what I'm going to take and how I'm presenting it, and I've been scouring YouTube and watching loads of other people, their opinions and what they're doing, so I thought I'd just do a video myself to show you what's going on. Also, if you're a fan of my artwork, the Crabby Creatures, this is obviously a first sneak peek. Without further ado, we'll move on. So, I think it's quite important to grab people's attention. So I am going to take a couple of originals. I've not got many originals at the moment, but I'm actually taking the most recent ones. So we've got Craig the Highland Cow, and the new release, which isn't out yet but is coming very shortly, is Crabby Rudy the Reindeer. So that's going to be this side of the stall. I've also, for the first time ever, written out some blurb about me, the Crabby Creatures, and what it's all about. And I've also got some signs all over the stall, because we do use some of the money to help real life animals, sanctuaries, rescues, our own rescue animals, all that kind of stuff. I think it's important that people know the message and the meaning and why they should be buying your artwork. So that's taken more space than I would normally allow, but I think it's going to help with people understanding what's going on, and then sales. It is that time of year, so we've got the 2026 Crabby Creature calendars, which are flying out like hotcakes already. I then was sat around the studio. So I've got a studio out the back of a small gallery that I run. And I've got I had some old stock, some old prints, notebooks, coasters, things that are out of print. And instead of putting them all out, I thought it'd be really cool to make up some Crabby Creature gift boxes. So these are already working really well. So if you're looking for a product to sell, having it all packaged up ready to go, they just make really good gifts. So inside these, there's a random print, the calendar, a notebook, and 2 coasters, a handwritten note, and then I often chuck in little extras. They could be doodles, old originals that I don't think are worth selling, but you know, something extra for each person. So I've got those. I'm selling these at £30. I'm also trying to up the presentation and the branding. The Crabby Creature logo is really new, and I've plastered it on everything. I paint mainly in ink, but I also use spray paint sometimes. So on the fronts of these boxes is actually a stencil and spray paint. I've then made little signs. It might be a bit OTT, but people can then see roughly what might be in the products. So I think that's important. I was going to say that I wouldn't put too many options out, and then I've done completely the opposite to that. But it is Christmas, so it's like gift season, so I think a lot of the small gifty priced items is what's going to sell. So I have dug out, let me see that, there's a whole box here. These are just old little framed prints. These aren't to the same quality as the limited edition super duper prints you'll see in a minute. They're just a bit of fun for gifting. They're going to be in the £5 to £10 kind of price range, so could be a little something extra, stocking filler, that sort of thing. Then just here, it's weird pointing up on the camera. That is the limited edition A3 Crabby Rudy prints. I've limited it to just 4, but I've hand finished those. So I do all the prints in-house myself, so all the painting, all the scanning, all the printing. These ones I have then hand finished with gold leaf, so a little bell on his collar, and his antlers have got gold leaf. And then at the bottom, just about to see that, there's glitter to look like snow, and some of them got a bit of ink spat and that sort of stuff. So they're super duper a bit more expensive, but I think I'm doing it in tiers. So you're going to have the original, then you're going to have the A3 gold leafed hand finished prints, and then you're going to have the normal print, which, because it's Christmas, they are also in little gift boxes. We put quite a lot of effort into the bow, the spray paint branding, the glitter and all that. Again, inside these, just to make it more of like a nice gift. Although a lot of people buying the other gift boxes that are already out, they're already released, are buying them for themselves, which is not what I was intending. I thought they were going to be to give to other people. Anyway, so for these, because it's sort of gift season, I went for a smaller print. These are A5, limited to 30. You get the new certificate of authenticity in the back, which has got all the right branding on it. And then it's a random coaster. So I've just loads of old designs, whatever's left, one random one in each. And the out of print B notebook, I had just enough for these boxes. I've then, of course, got Christmas cards. And I'm obviously obsessed with gift boxes and packaging at the moment. But with the cards, we decided, I printed these little strips just on brown craft paper, bundle them up. So this one, you get 5 of the Crabby Rudy cards. This one, I just photoshopped Christmas hats onto some of my favourite designs. So you get a reindeer, cow, hare, cat and a robin. Just a bit of fun. So just in the corner there, I've got the last 3 ever bee tea towels, but I've kind of stopped doing tea towels and cushions for now. And then along the bottom, there's just a handful of coasters. There's not huge profit in the coasters, but they're a really good little upsell, little gift. So that's coasters. The last item I've made up, which is a brand new thing for me, again with the boxes, is they're mini art prints in a box. So I used to do a lot of unlimited prints and I retired a lot of them, but I get asked, and there was some particular prints that I get asked quite a lot about. So instead of doing the same thing again, because I want people to feel like they got something special, just for Christmas, I've released the Crabby Classics. So you get 5 A6 prints in a box, label on the front. You can't see them because they're all gift wrapped up. Something like that, so 5 prints, less than 20 quid. Then back to the bread and butter. So we've got the limited edition A4 prints, which I've upgraded quite a lot. Not only do they now have a new branded certificate of authenticity in, which is embossed, handwritten, signed, numbered. The fronts are obviously the same, embossed, hand numbered, signed, but I've now used my font for the price, and I've done some stickers with the branding on, which tell people that it's a limited edition print, will not be reprinted. It's archival, museum quality, A4G clay print, 12 by 16 inch mount. So it helps. A lot of people always look at the funny saying these are A4. Obviously the mount's bigger, it's 12 by 16 inch, but that means they'll know how to frame it, and the fact it's going to be easy to frame. Then it's got what number limited edition on it, again, just to highlight that, and the website. So this now I feel is looking a much better product, and I've done that for all the limited ones. I'm not going to necessarily do unlimited prints. Well, once or twice a year I'll probably do an unlimited print, which will be a cheaper option. Excuse Harley drinking in the background. Yeah, just I think it's more affordable thing for some people, so that there will be unlimited ones, and then the unlimited ones will become the mini art prints and all that, which will make the limited edition ones really special, because they're limited, you can't get many out of way. Anyway, so these don't have a certificate of authenticity because they're not limited. That's what makes the limited one special. But I have used my font for the price, and they do still have a sticker, which basically just says it's still an archival museum quality. This is an A5 Giclée 10" by 12" mount with the website on. So I'm hoping, since the last time I did markets, I've stopped doing them so much because I had the gallery to run. I was selling a lot of this at the gallery, but now we're getting a lot of other artists using the gallery, some that are quite further on with their careers, which is great. So we're getting bigger, more professional artists in there, which means I need to take the Crabby Creatures out and about. So I thought we'd start with some Christmas markets and take it from there. But I've not done a market since I've had this level of branding, storytelling, and the products are probably much better than they were before. So I'm quite hopeful that we'll do well. The other thing I was researching was how to lay out the stall. So normally I just chuck it all out, get a bit arty and try and make things look nice. But there's quite a lot of psychology psychology around what people look at first and how they look at it. I'm in the UK, obviously we read from left to right. So the suggestion is that even if people came from the right hand side of your stall, they still look at the left and work backwards. So it's hard to see behind me, but the left hand side of my stall is the original paintings, it's the story, it's grabbing attention. Then the middle becomes sort of your middle price point stuff, the more expensive boxes, little framed prints, the super duper hand finished print. And then on the right hand side is almost your checkout. People are going to leave, their eyes leaving that side. So that's where all the coasters, the cards, the cheaper bits here, and apparently that's where your payment machine or whatever should be, so people feel naturally. Hopefully by the time they get to there, they've already picked up something along here, and then you can upsell them or they'll add a few bits onto it. So that's the stall and that's the branding. So let me find an example. So that's a bad example because you can't see it on the camera. We use the calendars. So this is the new Crabby Creature logo. I designed this myself a few months ago and we've been building ever since. So that Crabby Creature logo is now on everything. And hopefully people will get used to seeing it, and then if they see me at a few events, then they'll start to trust me because they recognise it, and then that helps sell stuff. You got to build trust to sell stuff. So there we are. If you've got any questions or anything, ping them in the comments. Any suggestions are more than welcome for you to ping them to me, because this is by no means the finished article. So yeah, lastly, you can just about see it there and on here. It's costing me money to print these. They're almost like prints with the information of what's in products and stuff. I think it's so important because some people don't want to ask. So since I keep getting interrupted, we'll leave it there. It's just really important to have branding, look professional. We're building trust. It might take some extra markets, and I appreciate that because I've been out of the market game for a while. Lots of signage with prices and information on. That means people don't have to ask if they feel embarrassed to, or if I'm busy. Hopefully I'm going to be so busy I'll just be serving loads of customers. And on that bombshell, what do you have to say, Harley? Hey, we're going to sell lots of stuff, and then we're going to go and rescue more dogs probably, or help some rescues. What do you think? The camera's over here. Oh, you look so cute. Cool. So make sure you subscribe, follow, give it a like, comment, and I'll see you soon.